top stories tonight in Y News. The authorities in Boracay Island strictly enforces the ban on loud music in parties and noise today until the morning. No passenger congestion reported in all terminals at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport on the second day of the long holiday. Authorities found a dead man floating in Apawan River in Sumadel, Tadyan Mountain Province. And Israel retaliates against rockets that were fired from Lebanon and has launched airstrikes against Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Friday, the 7th of April, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am William Theo. First in the news, no passenger congestion was reported in all terminals at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport or NAIA. Meanwhile, the Tourism Department hopes that the number of domestic tourists would reach pre-pandemic levels this year. Eileen Cerudo has the report.
It has been smooth sailing at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport terminals this Friday, April 7. Joey Rebancos did not experience any traffic en route to NAIA Terminal 3. He came from Angono, Rizal and has accompanied her daughter.
Okay naman. Swabe naman. Ang smooth ng biyahe namin. Galing pa kami ng Rizal, Angono. Okay. Ang flow naman wala namang traffic. Okay naman ang biyahe namin.
Queues and check-in counters were also operating smoothly. The Manila International Airport Authority or MIAA previously assured that there will be no passenger crowding that would delay any flights. Terence also did not experience any inconvenience during his travel to Terminal 3.
So far, wala naman ako naging problema kasi naka-online check-in kasi ako. And then, mamaya pa yung flight ko, 6 o'clock. So, walang hassle kasi ang luwag ng kalsada ngayon.
MIAA recorded over 580,000 passengers in NAIA terminals from April 1 to 5. Meanwhile, the Tourism Department hopes that the number of domestic tourists would return to pre-pandemic levels this year. According to Tourism Secretary Cristina Frasco, the department anticipates no less than 122 million domestic trips that would arrive this long holiday. Eileen Cerudo, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The amount of passengers at the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange or PITX to decrease in the coming days. Meanwhile, PITX allows passengers to bring their pets upon departure. Bernadette Tinoy will tell us why.
Walter Ohas bring his pet at the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange or PITX as they wait for their departure with his family.
Hindi po talaga kailangan maghiwalay at saka nagtatampo siya kapag halimbawang naiwan. Hindi siya kumakain ng ilang araw.
Walter said that the PITX management allows passengers to bring pets as they follow the corresponding regulation.
Ang regulation po ng PITX, kinakailangan pagpasok po namin sa gate, kailangan nakapampers po yung alagang aso at saka may kulungan.
Arnelin Bandala, on the other hand, checked the scheduled trip to Batangas before going to PITX. Arnelin also said she decided to go today to avoid the bulk of passengers in PITX.
Chinek ko naman online kung may biyahe. So may biyahe naman, regular holiday naman sila kahit papano. Adi goods na rin. Walang masyadong mahabang pila. So okay siya, good.
Based on PITX latest figures, there are 129,049 recorded foot traffic or individuals who entered the terminal in the rush hour of Wednesday, April 5. This is higher than the 108,055 foot traffic recorded yesterday, April 6. PITX said that the volume of passengers is expected to decrease in the coming days. PITX also announced that some bus companies have been operating in Cavite, Bicol, Batangas, Baguio, Laguna, Quezon Province, Visayas, and Mindanao. Meanwhile, some bus companies announced that they will temporarily suspend their operations today. The list of bus companies with no operations in their respective provinces can be seen on the official Facebook page of PITX. Bernadette Tinoy, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Pump prices of petroleum products are expected to increase in the coming week. According to the initial estimates of some oil industry players, the price of diesel could rise from 1 peso and 30 centavos to 1 peso and 60 centavos per liter. Meanwhile, the price of gasoline is expected to increase from 2 pesos and 50 centavos to 2 pesos and 80 centavos. The oil companies are scheduled to announce the final price adjustment on Tuesday, April 11, 2023.
And for our news abroad, in a recent telephone call, King Charles III has invited U.S. President Joe Biden to come to the United Kingdom for a state visit this year. From London, United Kingdom, here's Joanna Ochoa to tell us the details live. Joanna?
U.S. President Joe Biden accepted King Charles III's invitation to go to the United Kingdom for a state visit in a telephone conversation that lasted for about 30 minutes on Tuesday, April 4, although the specific date of the state's visit is yet to be confirmed. This after the White House announced weeks ago that the U.S. President will not be able to attend the coronation of King Charles on the 6th of May at Westminster Abbey. First Lady Jill Biden, however, is set to come to the UK to represent the President Biden to the coronation, which will also be witnessed by other state leaders and royals from around the world. The US President expressed that he enjoyed meeting the late Queen Elizabeth II in 2021 at Windsor. President Biden, along with his wife Jill, also attended the Queen's funeral last year. White House spokesperson Karine Jean-Pierre said that King Charles III and President Biden have a good relationship and share common values on issues such as climate change. Meanwhile, US President Biden will have a 4-day trip to Northern Ireland and the Irish Republic starting April 11. Kath?
Thank you, Joanna Ochoa, reporting live from United Kingdom. Israel retaliated to the 34 rockets that were fired from Lebanon and has launched airstrikes against Hamas in the Gaza Strip late Thursday, April 7, hitting 2 tunnels and 2 weapon manufacturing sites. Hamas said that Israel was responsible for the aggression and its consequences after Israeli police clashed with Palestinians inside Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa Mosque, Islam's third holiest site, last Wednesday. Hamas has also called for all Palestinian groups to unite against the occupation. Israeli army said that 25 of the rockets were intercepted and 5 landed in Israeli territory. Israeli army spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Richard Hecht said that Hamas or Islamic Jihad could be blamed for the attack, but said that it was not Hezbollah. Although he added that Hezbollah would have knowledge about it and Lebanon also has some responsibility. They are also investigating if Iran was involved with the attack. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, William.
Thank you, Kath. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. Tourists continue to arrive in Puerto Galera, and most of the beachgoers are from Metro Manila and nearby provinces. According to the record of the Department of Tourism and Municipal Office of Puerto Galera, the expected number of tourist arrival in the island is more than 15,600 until the holiday is ended on Monday, April 10. The barangay officials in San Isidro hope that their tourism will continue to recover, especially here here in White Beach. Since the pandemic, the tourism industry in the area has dropped to its lowest level. The Philippine National Police, barangay officials, Philippine Coast Guard, and the Bureau of Fire Protection always remind beachgoers with kids to watch their children to avoid possible drowning incidents. In addition to security, there are barangay and municipal health workers present in the area to assist if someone needs medical attention. Various agencies also installed a help desk in the White Beach to address possible concerns from vacationers.
Sa pamamagitan po ng regular na pagpapatrol at saka patuloy din ang aming paalala sa ating mga turista, lalo na sa health protocol natin, dahil hanggang ngayon hindi pa rin nawawala naman ang ating virus, kaya patuloy pa kami namimigay ng mga flyers at mga paalala sa ating mga turista.
The authorities have strictly enforced the ban on loud music and rowdy parties in Boracay Island today, which will last until tomorrow morning. There are police and beach guards guarding the surroundings to punish or arrest those who would violate the said ordinance. Meanwhile, according to the Malay Boracay Tourism Office, today and tomorrow is the peak of the long holiday in the island because Sunday and Monday vacationers are already expected to return back to their work and home. The authorities remind tourists that swimming and sports activities on the island are only allowed from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily. Night swimming is prohibited to prevent drowning incidents. Bringing of food to the White Beach is also prohibited.
So lahat kami shared responsibility na alam namin na kailangan namin itong Holy Week na to na maramdaman ng mga tao na secure sila. At the same time, pagka nasa labas sila, hindi lang yung presensya nararamdaman, talagang we are implementing yung municipal ordinance namin dito, especially yung anti-smoking ordinance namin dito, tsaka yung environmental laws and traffic.
The Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, or PDEA Region 2, conducted a random K9 inspection at bus and van terminals in the city of Tuguegarao today, April 7. Based on the data obtained from PDEA Region 2, among those that underwent inspection were the Florida Bus Terminal, Victory Bus Liner and Van Terminals in Robinson Central Terminal, Tuguegarao Isabela, and Downstream Terminal. According to the PDEA, this aims to ensure the safety of travelers, especially this long holiday, where it is expected that there will be an influx of passengers who will go home to different places in the province. In addition, inspection was also conducted at the Tuguegarao City Domestic Airport. All passengers who underwent the inspection were negative for bringing or carrying illegal drugs and drug paraphernalia. Meanwhile, fishermen and residents of Barangay Malabis, Tibiao in Antique enjoy the bountiful fish catch in the past days and today. Videos and pictures posted on social media account of Discover Antique Philippines shows the tons of sardine fish, or locally known as tamban, that are being caught. A beach owner even shared it to residents. A large fish trap called Lambaklad project is also a big help to fishermen to have more catch. Antique is part of the Cuyo East Pass that is a route for migratory fish like yellowfin tuna. Intensify and introduce even more celebration of the Filipino Food Month, not only in the Philippines but in other countries. The Philippine Culinary Heritage Movement will cooperate with the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Tourism, and the National Commission for Culture and the Arts to make its one-month celebration of the Filipino Food Month. Pinoy foods are gradually being known not only in our country but in many other parts of the world as well. This urged the Philippine Culinary Heritage Movement to promote and introduce Filipino food in the global market. This is based on the proclamation number 469/2018 signed by former President Rodrigo Duterte, declaring the month of April to celebrate the Filipino Food Month, or Buwan ng Kalutong Pilipino. The celebration boasts of its theme, Pagkaing Sariling Atin, Mahalin at pagyamanin. The Filipino food is a mix of cultures brought by the invaders and visitors in the country stated in history. Some of the famous Pinoy dishes are adobo, sinigang, bulalo, pinaksiw, pinakbet, and menudo, and much more.
Ang pagkaing Pilipino po ay parte ng ating kultura. Ang sabi nga nila, food reflects our culture, our identity, and it reflects who we are as a nation.
Meanwhile, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. calls on Filipinos to preserve and promote the food heritage of our ancestors to the next generation.
As this annual celebration highlights our rich culinary traditions, I enjoin everyone to learn the history of our local dishes and delicacies so that we may further understand and strengthen our identity. I also call on everyone to remain steadfast in preserving and promoting our food heritage, as this gives us a glimpse of our customs, our beliefs, and values as a society.
Thought to have been possible, new evidence shows that COVID-19 could have a developmental effect on infants while in the womb of a mother who tests positive for the virus. Jane Robles explains why live. Jane?
Kath, the possibility of COVID-19 passing through an infant through the placenta has been detailed by the University of Miami researchers who studied the case of 2 pregnant women who tested positive during the Delta wave in 2020, now published in the Pediatrics Journal. According to the report released on Thursday, April 6, while the children themselves did not test positive for the virus, an autopsy shows that the Delta virus was found in the brain and antibodies were found in the system of the children. In a statement by Dr. Michael Pidas, who chairs the obstetrics and gynecology at the university, says that these are the first known cases they have been able to showcase COVID-19 traveling through a transplacental passage. The infants were seen to develop microcephaly gradually after being born as their brains ceased to develop normally, on the contrary to the Zika virus, which causes children to be born with microcephaly. Zika among cytomegalovirus, rubella, and human immunodeficiency virus are the several viruses that are known to be able to cross the placenta, resulting in brain damage in the offspring. Meanwhile, a fellow obstetrician and gynecologist at the university, Dr. Shanza Duwara, speaks out to women who have contracted the virus and tell their pediatricians for developmental checkup, as delays can be settled up until children are 7 to 8 years of age. Back to you, Cass.
Thank you, Jane Robles, reporting live from Vietnam. The Biden administration continues to put the responsibility on his predecessor, former United States President Donald Trump, when the latter has negotiated the U.S. troops withdrawal agreement with the Taliban forces during his term, compelling President Biden to abide by the said agreement. A 12-page document was released yesterday by the White House before the press briefing outlining the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan and how key decisions and challenges were addressed. During the White House briefing, Admiral John Kirby emphasized that U.S. President Joe Biden's decision to end the war in Afghanistan was a right decision and that the president has significantly limited option due to the lack of planning done by Trump administration. Admiral Kirby described President Biden's actions as rigorous, responsive, and inclusive, and further defended that no agency could have predicted a Taliban takeover to happen in 9 days, nor the fleeing of President Ashraf Ghani in August 15, 2021. Meanwhile, there has been nearly 100,000 Afghan families welcomed in the U.S. as safe departures of Americans continue. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I'm Kat Maraos, live from Bangkok, Thailand. Good evening.
A man was found dead in Apawan River in Sumadel, Tadian Mountain Province. The man was identified as John Duklan, 57 years old and a resident of the said town. According to authorities of Tadian Municipal Police Station, they received a call about a man found floating in the river. Based on the investigation, the victim had a head injury and the investigation is currently ongoing as to what may have caused his death. Meanwhile, a passenger died while 6 others got injured after their van overturned and collided with a bus in Bangi, Ilocos Norte Friday morning, April 6. Police said the van was moving so fast that it turned into a curbed section of the national highway in Barangay Baruyan and ran into a bus. 45-year-old passenger Edgar Pagyo was rushed to the hospital but was declared dead on arrival. A 19-year-old driver and 5 other relatives are still recovering in the hospital. The bus driver and its passengers were safe from the accident. According to the police, the victims were from Makati City and were supposed to be on their way to the town of Pagudpud for a vacation this long holiday. Although most of us are on vacation, we are very grateful for you joining us this evening in our live newscast. We would like to inform you that UNTV News and Rescue will continue to deliver news and updates during the long holiday through our newscasts on our official social media accounts like YouTube and Facebook until Saturday. Our kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the pandemic caused by coronavirus, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with the word giving glory to God from the book of John chapter 3 verse 16. It says, "For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life." Those are the reasons behind the news, April 7, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am William Theo. We serve the people. We give glory to God.